Many people, when observing the practices of Islam from the outside, may mistakenly interpret the rituals of Hajj as simply worshipping a stone structure. At first glance, it might seem like an ancient ritual with no meaning beyond the visible, or even an act close to idolatry. However, what lies behind these sacred acts transcends any superficial perception. These gestures of worship not only connect humanity with its creator, but also reflect a profound synchronicity with the entire universe, where everything pays homage to the one and only true God, Allah. The Kaaba, seemingly a simple stone cube, is much more than that. It is a symbol of unity and a reflection of universal order. Every step a pilgrim takes, every prayer they utter, and every movement during Hajj are not isolated actions, but a representation of a much vaster and perfect celestial order. Through these actions, a deep connection is revealed between the microcosm of humanity and the macrocosm of the universe. These practices, rooted in prophetic tradition since the 7th century, contain wisdom that even modern science is only beginning to uncover. As we explore this sacred pilgrimage, you will discover how the rhythms of the universe and human acts intertwine in such a sublime way that it cannot be the result of mere chance. More than a physical journey, Hajj is a divine alignment with all of creation. At the center of this spiritual experience is the Tawaf, the act of circumambulating the Kaaba in a counterclockwise direction. This movement, performed 7 times, is not merely a physical ritual. It represents the union of believers and their connection with Allah, while reflecting the very design and order of the cosmos. Allah reminds us in the Quran that everything that exists in the heavens and on earth, even that which is beyond our understanding, glorifies His greatness. The 7 heavens and the earth, and all that is in them exalt Him. And there is not a thing except that it exalts Allah by His praise, but you do not understand their glorification. Surah Al-Isra, 1744. This verse reveals a profound truth. Every atom, every star, and every creature in the universe is in constant praise of Allah. Although our limited perception does not allow us to understand how, everything is in a continuous state of submission and glorification. Similarly, the Tawaf around the Kaaba not only symbolizes this universal exaltation, but also participates in it. By circumambulating the Kaaba, believers align themselves with the natural movements of planets, stars, and galaxies, which also revolve in obedience to divine laws. This seemingly simple act unites humans with the eternal rhythm of the cosmos, reminding us that we are part of a much greater design guided by Allah's will. The Kaaba, then, is not just a physical place, but a central point that connects the hearts of believers with heaven and earth. It is a symbol of unity, not only among Muslims, but also with the entire universe in its praise of the Creator. This spiritual journey, full of mystery and beauty, invites each pilgrim to reflect on their place in the divine order, uniting their worship with the universal symphony that Allah has arranged for all His creation. As we delve into the understanding of Tawaf, it becomes clear that this act of circling the Kaaba 7 times is not merely a repetitive gesture, but a manifestation of the connection between believers and the divine order of the universe. This movement not only reflects devotion to Allah, but also symbolizes the shared purpose of all creation. It is an act that bridges the earthly and the celestial, the visible and the invisible, showing how the rhythms of the entire universe are designed to glorify the Creator. Just as planets orbit stars and electrons trace paths around atomic nuclei, Muslims revolve around the Kaaba in a movement that transcends the physical and reflects a universal design. This act not only unites believers in worship, but also connects them with the eternal flow of the cosmos. In every circuit around the Kaaba, there is a sense of synchronization with the cosmic laws governing all creation. The counterclockwise direction of Tawaf aligns with the movements that govern the universe on all scales. The Earth rotates counterclockwise, generating the cycle of day and night, enabling the continuity of life. The Moon follows the same pattern in its orbit around the Earth, regulating tides and natural balance. Similarly, the Earth orbits the Sun in the same direction, bringing about the seasonal cycles that sustain life on the planet. Beyond this, our solar system orbits the center of the Milky Way in a counterclockwise motion, reflecting a cosmic design that spans from the greatest to the smallest. Even at the atomic level, electrons revolve in orbits that obey quantum laws, revealing intricate order in the smallest forms of creation. In the human body, the flow of blood in the heart adopts a vortex-like pattern, often counterclockwise as well, ensuring vital circulation. This movement, whether at a galactic, planetary, biological, or atomic level, appears to be part of a unified design pointing to a single creator. Reflecting on these universal patterns, it is hard to imagine they could result from mere chance. The most advanced studies estimate that the probability of these synchronies occurring randomly is virtually zero. This leads us to understand that every movement in the universe, including Tawaf, is part of an intentional design, a continuous glorification of Allah that encompasses everything. The number 7, represented in the circuits around the Kaaba, is also not a random choice. This number repeatedly appears in creation and revelation. From the 7 heavens mentioned in the Quran to the days of the week structuring human time, 7 symbolizes completeness and perfection in the divine order. In Tawaf, this number reminds believers that their worship is aligned with the perfection of the universe created by Allah. Every step taken around the Kaaba is an echo of universal praise. The Tawaf not only connects believers with their Creator, but also invites them to be part of an eternal movement in which all that exists, from the smallest to the vastest, glorifies Allah in perfect harmony. The number 7, deeply rooted in Islam, holds a significance that transcends the ritual and the symbolic, manifesting itself as a reflection of the divine order governing all creation. During Hajj, this number guides believers in acts of worship such as circling the Kaaba 7 times, walking 7 times between the hills of Safa and Marwa, and throwing 7 stones at the pillars symbolizing the rejection of evil. These actions are not mere repetitions, but tangible expressions of a spiritual connection with the universe, designed to remind believers of the perfection and completeness this number represents. The number 7 does not only stand out in Islamic rituals, but is also inscribed in creation itself and the structure of the physical world. In the Quran, its recurring presence points to a spiritual depth that connects the divine words with nature. The 7 heavens and 7 earths mentioned in the Quran serve as a reminder of the vastness of Allah's creation, while the 7 verses of Surah Al-Fatiha underscore the centrality of this number in daily worship. These references not only guide believers in their relationship with their Creator, but also reveal an intentional design in the universe. The natural world also reflects this perfection. The earth, divided into 7 continents and surrounded by 7 seas, seems to follow the divine pattern structuring creation. Light, when refracted, reveals 7 colors in a rainbow, a display of beauty and order resonating throughout nature. The lunar cycle and the days of the week are organized around the number 7, marking the rhythms that govern time and life. Even in anatomy, mammals share the same number of cervical vertebrae, from giraffes to whales, evidencing a coherent design uniting life forms in creation. In cultural realms, the number 7 also stands out. The 7 notes of the musical scale form the foundation of all melodies, reflecting the inherent harmony of the world. Natural wonders, grouped into 7s, point to universal beauty that transcends human boundaries. This constant pattern across the physical, spiritual, and cultural dimensions cannot be attributed to coincidence. Modern studies have concluded that the frequency with which the number 7 appears is statistically unlikely to be fortuitous. Rather, it reveals the imprint of a divine design, a profound connection between the spiritual and material realms. During the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, this knowledge about the natural patterns of the universe was beyond human reach. However, Islamic rituals, like Tawaf, and the significance of the number 7, reflect a perfect alignment with these universal truths. This is no coincidence, but clear evidence that everything in the universe, from galaxies to acts of worship, bears the marks of Allah's wisdom. Creation and rituals are not separate but intertwined, showing us that every detail in this world is a reminder of His perfection and the unity of His design. Movement, a central element in Islamic rituals, is neither accidental nor merely symbolic. Every turn, step, and action in Hajj holds a depth that connects the physical with the spiritual, revealing the harmony between human worship and the universe's design. But why does movement play such a fundamental role? What deeper meaning does it hold in the context of the Quran and science? The Quran, in Surah Al-Anbiya 21:33, tells us, "Each is swimming in its own orbit." This description, made more than 1400 years ago, is astonishingly precise when we observe modern discoveries about the cosmos. The Earth revolves around the Sun, while the Moon orbits the Earth, each following a defined path with almost superhuman precision. Even the Sun, far from being static, moves in its orbit around the center of the Milky Way, adhering to a perfect balance of gravitational forces that maintain order in the universe. The Arabic word yasbahun, meaning swimming, used in this verse is deeply significant. For centuries, space was thought to be an absolute void, but scientific advances have revealed it is filled with dark matter and cosmic particles that form a medium through which celestial bodies move, as though they truly swim. This detail, resonating with the word choice in the Quran, reflects precision that can only be attributed to a divine source, connecting revealed knowledge with modern science. The entire universe is in constant motion, operating with precision that amazes even the most advanced scientists. This movement is not chaotic, but follows a greater design, as though an invisible hand guides every detail. This ordered flow not only demonstrates the greatness of creation, but also the infinite wisdom contained in the Quran, inviting us to contemplate the majesty of the Creator. The connection between the universe and the rituals of Hajj is equally sublime. The circular motion of tawaf around the Kaaba not only symbolizes the unity of believers, but also reflects the eternal spin of celestial bodies around their centers of gravity. Just as planets revolve around stars and galaxies move in majestic spirals, Muslims participate in an act of worship that is intrinsically aligned with the universal movement. This act not only connects believers with their Creator, but invites them to become part of the continuous glorification that the entire cosmos offers to Allah. The beauty of this verse is not limited to its scientific content, but also extends to its linguistic structure. The phrase Kullan Fi Falakin, each in its own orbit, has a palindromic construction, readable forwards and backwards, as if reflecting the circular orbits of celestial bodies. This symmetry in language is a marvel in any language, but in the Quran, its presence is a reminder of the connection between divine language and the order of the universe. Palindromes, though rare, here symbolize the perfect balance of forces governing the cosmos, inviting us to reflect on the perfection Allah has embedded in His creation. Recent calculations have indicated that the probability of a verse reflecting such advanced concepts, including the movement of celestial bodies, palindromic structure, and precise knowledge of orbits, is nearly non-existent. This invites us to recognize that the Quran, as the revealed word of Allah, transcends human imagination, offering truths we are only now beginning to fully comprehend. Movement, both in the universe and in acts of worship, is a constant reminder of the presence of a Creator who guides every detail with infinite wisdom. The concept of perpetual motion is not exclusive to the visible universe. This principle, manifested in the rotation of planets and the dance of galaxies, finds its reflection in the sacred act of tawaf. Muslims circumambulate the Kaaba in a counterclockwise direction, a movement that never ceases. Day and night, regardless of weather conditions, this act of worship continues, echoing the divine order inscribed in creation. Just as celestial bodies follow their orbits with precision, believers circle the Kaaba in a constant flow of devotion. from vast galaxies to tiny electrons, from the heartbeat to the Earth's rotation. Everything in the universe participates in a motion that symbolizes life itself. This universal, eternal, and harmonious rhythm reveals an intentional design that points to the Creator. Each circuit around the Kaaba is not merely a human act, but a synchronization with the cosmos, a direct connection to the continuous glorification of Allah by all creation. This parallel finds its ultimate expression in Al-Bayt al-Mamur, the celestial Kaaba. According to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, this heavenly house, located directly above the earthly Kaaba, is a place where 70,000 angels perform tawaf daily without ever returning. This infinite cycle of worship is a celestial reflection of the tawaf performed by believers on earth, linking the visible and invisible worlds in perpetual praise. The Quran mentions this heavenly dwelling in Surah At-Tur 52-4, reminding us of its transcendence and its place in the divine design. This connection between earthly and celestial tawaf spiritually unites believers with the cosmic cycle, integrating them into a universal order of worship. Hajj, in its essence, is much more than a religious obligation. It represents a profound journey, both physical and spiritual, leading believers to experience unity, equality, and absolute devotion to Allah. On this path, Muslims leave behind earthly distinctions, donning the ihram, a simple white garment that eliminates social, economic, and racial differences. This attire symbolizes the equality of all before Allah, reminding us that in His presence, we are humble servants with no merit other than our faith and actions. The rituals of Hajj, such as the tawaf around the Kaaba, the sa'i between Safa and Marwa, and the stay at Arafat, are far more than symbolic acts. They represent moments of spiritual struggle, reflection, and complete submission to Allah. These practices allow believers to experience an inner rebirth, purifying them and renewing their commitment to the ultimate purpose of life, attaining closeness to their Creator. Every step taken, every supplication uttered, and every tear shed during Hajj serve as a reminder of the connection between the earthly and the celestial, between the physical and the spiritual. This extraordinary journey not only connects Muslims with their Creator, but also with one another, creating a tapestry of humanity that transcends borders and differences. Hajj demonstrates that the true essence of existence lies in the worship of Allah, in seeking His pleasure, and in recognizing our position as part of His perfect creation.